Hello, guys. How are you today? I hope you're doing great, and I'm really glad to be here with you for one more class at SEDA College Online. So, today we have a really interesting topic, which is related to feelings. It is related to generally the senses. Okay, so tell me, how do you feel today? And you can expand to all the senses if you want. You can expand to maybe tell me about sounds, smells. You can tell me about appearances. Okay, so you could tell me I feel great today, but I look awful. Or no? Okay. So let me tell you how I feel today. Okay, I feel great. It's my first sentence that I want to share with you. My second sentence is that I feel like $1,000,000. Okay, that's an expression. It means that I feel really fancy. I feel great. Okay. And my third statement, I feel as if I've drunk 5 cups of coffee, so I'm really energetic. And by looking at these 3 sentences, you get an idea of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about sense verbs. So remember, we can talk about how we look, about appearances, how something sounds, okay, how we feel, how something tastes, and how something smells, all right? So this is an idea, a first idea of what we're going to do today. But another thing is that I want you to pay attention to the forms that I have used here. If you look at the sentences, the first one is short, the second one is a little bit longer, and the third one a little bit longer as well. Why does that happen? Well, take a look at what follows. The verb feel, what follows feel like, and what follows feel as if. Because these are 3 different forms, okay? And I'll show you examples from different verbs as well to help you understand what's going on here. Okay. You could say he looks tired. He looks like a wreck, like ruin. He looks as if he was run over by a car. So focus again on what follows the specific expressions. Looks, looks like, and looks as if. And something else that I want to comment on before we continue is that you see all the verbs look, smell, sound can be used on their own, with like, and with as if. So if you have already figured out the structure, you can tell me in the comments in the live chat. If not yet, let's see a few more examples. With sound here, it sounds amazing. With sounds like, it sounds like a bass. It sounds like drums. It sounds like a guitar. And the third one, it sounds as if they're killing someone. Any ideas yet about what follows the specific structures? Let's see one more with taste. It tastes delicious. It tastes like heaven. It tastes as if it was cooked by a professional chef. It's really nice. So, did you get what always follows the verb on its own, the verb with like, and the verb with as if? I think it's not really hard to get if you pay attention. Take a look again. You see, feel great, looks tired, sounds amazing, tastes delicious. Then we have feel like $1,000,000, a wreck, a base, heaven. And I've drunk 5 cups of coffee. He was run over by a car. They're killing someone. It was cooked by a professional chef. Something was burned. What is that? So this is what happens. And here in my examples, I have used the verb feel, okay? Feel like, feel as if, but I remind you again that this is exactly the same for all the all the other verbs of senses. Okay? So the first one is feel on its own plus adjective. I feel great, I feel amazing. Feel like needs a noun. I feel like a model today, so fancy. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like an old lady today. And the third one, feel as if or taste as if or anything, needs a clause, so a full sentence with subject, verb, object, etc. All right? So I will keep this example in all the slides that follow in order to help you. But I want you to remember it, okay? I'm going to show you now a few pictures of people. And because it's pictures, here we're going to use mostly the verb look, okay? Because you can't listen to something, you can't smell something, you can only see. So I want you to look at the pictures and tell me about the people using all 3 different structures. For example, you see this man here in the picture. So I need you to go to the comments or the live chat and write 3 sentences. One sentence with look plus adjective, he looks something. One sentence with look like, he looks like that. And one sentence with look as if plus clause, he looks as if he has done something, all right? So I'll just give you a few seconds. Try to be simple. We don't need long sentences. Try to do something like I did before, just one adjective, one noun, and one short clause. Okay, he looks blah blah. He looks like this. He looks as if he is doing that. And generally, these forms help you have variety in your speech and your writing. You can say the exact same thing if you want by adding slightly more information each time. One example would be, you could say, I feel tired. If you want to change this sentence with look like, you could say, with feel like, sorry, I feel like a tired person. So you can keep the adjective but add a noun necessarily. And then you can take this tired person and make it into a sentence with as if. I feel as if I am a tired person. So you can say the exact same sentence in 3 different ways, adding slightly more information each time. Now, let's see my example for this picture. I wrote, he looks angry, adjective. He looks like a criminal, noun. He looks as if he's going to explode. Okay. So you see adjective, noun, and clause. And let's do this again. We'll do that with a few pictures because I want you to practice as much as possible, okay? That's another picture. Tell me about this person. How does he look? How does he look like? And what he looks as if he's doing. You can use the same forms as before. Okay, I'll just give you a minute or so. And again, I will repeat that generally you can use different verbs, but in this specific exercise, we're using look because we're talking about pictures. Okay? Now, let's see my own answers as well, and you can keep writing, guys, okay? But try to write short sentences so you can write as much as possible, okay? We could say here, he looks excited, he looks happy, he looks delighted, anything you want. He looks surprised, maybe. He looks like my brother. So you could even compare him to another person. He looks as if he got some good news. He looks as if he saw something surprising. He looks as if he read a funny joke. So it's up to you, really. Let's continue with one more picture, okay? Now you see this young woman sitting like that. Tell me, she looks plus adjective, she looks like that, she looks as if plus clause, adjective, noun, clause. Okay, just keep that in your mind. And I think, well, sometimes the feeling is clear, other times it can be a little bit more challenging to understand how this person looks, but you can have multiple answers. There is no correct answer here, really, as long as you stick to the form. Whatever you can get from the picture is correct, right? So, let's take a look at my own examples. When I saw this picture, actually, I thought of a student. I don't know why, personal experience. So, my concept was that this girl here, this young woman, is a student. She has been studying all night and she's exhausted. And you can see the cup of coffee, cup of tea in front of her. So I think she's trying to keep herself awake. So my sentences here where she looks exhausted, okay, she looks tired, she looks desperate, name it. She looks like a student, or she looks as if she's been studying all night. She looks as if she's trying to keep herself awake. She looks as if she has a really important test. Okay, so keep writing as well. I want to see all your answers, guys, in the comments and the live chat, all right? And let's move on to the next picture, okay? We are seeing this young man shouting at the phone, and I want you to give me a few more examples, okay? So look plus adjective, look like plus noun, look as if plus clause. I think here the feeling is fairly easy, but again, you can have different answers. I don't know. So, let's see a few examples while you are writing because I am expecting you to write, okay? I'm telling you this in every class, every time, but I'll keep saying that, okay? If you're watching the lesson, even if you're watching after the live class at another time, go to the comments in the platform and write your answers. I'm always there and I will answer to your comments, okay? Now let's see my sentences. He looks mad. Okay, let's see some synonyms. Don't just use angry. Okay, angry, mad, cross. He looks like a person who complains. Now you see that this sentence is a little bit longer, but it's not a clause because what is missing? He looks like a person is our sentence, and then we start another sentence. Okay, so we focus on the basic sentence. He looks like a person. That's a noun. He looks as if he's extremely annoyed. And let's see, I have two more pictures. This is the first one, and I have one more for you. So I want you to take a look at this child and tell me how she looks to you. Okay? Looks, look like, look as if. It's a very cute picture actually. And I think I can recall myself being in this position many, many times when I was a child. I'm sure it looks familiar to you too. And maybe a little bit nostalgic. So I want you to write a sentence with an adjective, a sentence with a noun, and a sentence with a clause. And of course, when you're done, I will show you my answers as well, but keep writing. I want you to be active. So here are my answers. She looks bored. Okay, you could say she looks annoyed. I don't know. She looks like a naughty child. Or not, maybe we could say she looks like a quiet child. She looks as if she doesn't know what to do. And as I told you before in a previous explanation, if you just wanted to use the word bored in every sentence, you can. You will just slightly add information. For example, you could say, she looks bored. She looks like a bored child. She looks as if she is bored. As long as you have adjective, noun, and full sentence, okay? It's the same thing. And now this is my favorite picture and my last picture, okay? I want you to look at this child and tell me about it. The expression on the face, even if you don't look at the eyes, you can't see the eyes. The expression on the face, on the mouth area is so distinguishing that, and I think it's really funny as well. So let's take a look at my sentences. And of course, as I always tell you, you can continue writing. Here, I've chosen, she looks annoyed. Maybe you could say, she looks disgusted. Okay. She looks like a child actress. I don't know why I said that. Maybe the look, like, is a bit snobbish and it reminded me, of actors or something, celebrities. You could say she looks like a celebrity. She looks as if she has to eat something disgusting. Like they bring you something you hate and you're like, I don't want to eat that. She looks as if she doesn't want to eat something her mom has brought her to eat. Okay, so I hope you have a good idea so far of how we can use verbs of senses as feel like, feel as if, or others with the correct word following. Okay. I know that when you're speaking and writing, it might be a bit hard to think it on the spot, but it's a really good structure to keep in mind because we always use it. We always describe our feelings or people around us. Okay, and taking one word from all these examples we've seen as an example, and it's this word, the word as, I'm going to move on to something related to that, something a little bit different. I know you have seen the word as a lot of times in a lot of different contexts. And sometimes many students ask me, so what does this word actually mean? How do we actually use this word? In which situations do we use this word? And that's the question I'm going to answer today. Here you can see different examples with different uses of the word as. While I'm reading, I want you to try and think the meaning. What is the meaning of the word as in number one? And you can write your ideas in the comments or the live chat. Okay, so I'm gonna read, you're gonna guess the meaning and write the answer. Number one, I work as a teacher. I'm using a PowerPoint as a board right now. Okay, I don't have a board, so I'm using a PowerPoint as a board. Number two, he's not as honest as you think, or he's not as honest as you. Number three, it tastes as if you cooked it with your feet. It's disgusting. Okay. Number four, she couldn't be late as she was the guest of honor at the gala. And number five, someone stole my purse as I was getting off the bus. So, do you have any ideas about what the meaning of as is in each sentence? Take a good look again and tell me in the comments. And of course, if you still have trouble and you are not sure what the different meanings are, I have something to help you. Here, you can see the 5 possible meanings, but they are mixed. They are not in the correct order. So a reason, similar to because, is not talking about number 1. It's talking about another example. So can you match them and maybe go to the comments and write number 1. What is it? Is it comparison, function, reason, synonym of while, etc. So you see your options here. We have reason, which means that the word in the sentence is a synonym of because. We have a synonym of while, so you can use it in actions that happen at the same time or for actions that interrupt each other. Another option is comparison, to compare, to give a function, okay, to show you what is the function of a person or what is the function of an object. And your last option is description with verbs of senses, which is what we actually talked about earlier in today's class. Okay, so let's take a look. Number 1 is a function. I work as a teacher. That is my professional function. I'm using a PowerPoint as a board. Okay, this is the PowerPoint's function right now. Okay. He's not as honest as you think. Of course, it's a comparison. He's less honest than you think. It tastes as if you cooked it with your feet. It's a description that we use with the verb of senses. Here we have taste. She couldn't be late as she was the guest of honor. So as she was, here is the reason. She couldn't be late because she was the guest of honor. And someone stole my purse as I was getting off the bus. Here it's a synonym of while. Someone stole my purse while I was getting off the bus. So you see how many different uses we have for the word as. And it is very good to show variety. For example, if you don't want to use because in every sentence, you can use as. If you don't want to use as, sorry, if you don't want to use while in every sentence, you can use as. And in order to finish and practice a little bit more, I want you to go to the comments right now and write your own sentences. You don't have to write 5, 1, 2 sentences is fine. Choose the function of as that you prefer and write a sentence with it. You can choose a comparison, you can choose a verb of sense if you want to practice that as well. You can choose something that shows the reason as a synonym of because. It's up to you, okay? So I'll just give you a few seconds to do that. Write 1 or 2 short sentences, okay? You don't have to give me a lot of information or make it too complex. Okay, so if you want, you can tell me about your work. What do you work as? You can tell me, you can compare one of your characteristics with the characteristics of another person. Um, you can tell me what happened while you were doing something. All right, guys. So, if you have any questions now is the time to ask them, because we have reached the end of our class. Okay, so it's your last opportunity to ask me questions. And generally, I hope you enjoyed it. I know we had a lot of grammar information today, but I think it's very useful. And we saw many, many different functions as well, which is good because you need to be aware of how we use the language in different situations. So that's what we saw today, some grammar about verbs of senses and the different uses of as. And of course, we did a lot of writing in both situations. All right, guys, so tell me in the comments, what did you learn today? What was your favorite part of the lesson? Was there something that you had never seen before or surprised you? I'm looking forward to see your answers, and I'm looking forward to seeing you here again, keeping me company for our next class. Thank you very much, guys. Bye. Have a great day.